Hello and welcome to I Love Airguns. I'm your host, Jim Bianchi. I love airguns. I love everything about them. I love the fact that you can shoot them in your backyard, you can punch paper, you can modify them, you can dress them up, make them look kind of cool and tactical. You can do a million things to them. This is one of my first, maybe my first adult airgun I've ever bought. I bought this about 3 years ago. It's a Roy Wee 2250. His company's name is Mountain Air Arms. And for about $250, $300, I think with the shroud, you get a great airgun. Add another $30 for a cheap scope from Walmart, and you've got yourself a tack driver at 40 yards. It'll do one hole groups all day long with the right pellet. This particular gun loves JSP Predators, Field Target Specials, and Beeman Trophies. But no gun is perfect, not even a custom-made air rifle. So I'm going to modify this gun. And Roy, if you're watching, I apologize, but I'm going to cut the barrel. And I'm going to crony it the entire time. I'm going to cut it 1 inch at a time so we can see on video exactly what barrel length does to velocity of a CO2 rifle. Everyone knows who works on the CO2 guns that a 24-inch barrel like this one is optimum for the most power, the most bang for your buck in a CO2 rifle. Well, I think this gun is just too long. With the shroud, it comes in at 40 inches or so. I think it's just too big. I'm going to cut 8 inches off it probably, and we're going to crony it and take a look at it every single step of the way. I'll show you how to do it, and in the next segment, a following segment of this one, I'll show you how to recrown the barrel. Remember, a crown does not affect speed. It only affects accuracy. So there'll be no need to crown the barrel in this episode. Let's get started. Here are the tools I'll be using today to help me accomplish my task of shortening this barrel and making the gun as accurate as possible. I have an Alpha 1 Beta Crony. I have a chop saw with a 10-inch Ferris cutting wheel on it. I have a gun rest to check the velocity prior to cutting. I have some Allen wrenches, a tape measure. If you look really closely, you'll see what I'm going to plug the barrel with prior to each cut. I'll stick some Q-tips in there using that push rod to make sure that no junk gets on the barrel when you cut it. As you can see, this gun is very accurate. That's 10 meters, 60 degrees with 5 or 6 seconds between each shot. We've got a one-holer with JSP Predator, 16.5 grains. We're going to crony it right now. Predators. So as you can see, the gun will do about 655 feet per second with JSP Predators. That's pretty good for a Predator. That's really kicking out there. We're doing about 15, 16. Now I've already placed a Q-tip in the barrel. I use my little push rod that's measured to 2 inches, so I know it's way beyond the distance of where I'm cutting. The Q-tip will be right about here. Have my safety goggles. I put those on. I've clamped it very tightly in 2 places, so the gun will be completely straight and perpendicular for the cut. That just helps later on when you have to crown it. You want a completely straight cut. So here we go. All right, that was the cut. First cut. So I cut 1 inch off the barrel. It is now 23 inches. I let the gun sit in the sun for about 15 minutes to warm up because it's only 60 degrees here, and I typically would never shoot in 60-degree weather because I'm old. So let's see what it looks like. We've got 607 Okay, I've cut another inch off it. We're at 22 inches right now. My last number was a little anomalous. I was surprised to see 50 feet per second drop. We're going to try it again and see what we get. Oh, I believe I need new CO2. Okay, we got a really anomalous reading there with 607 as the second shot with a 23-inch barrel. So I cut another inch off thinking, oh, it's possible. So my second cut, making a 22-inch barrel, I got 495. Obviously that's not correct. So I changed out the CO2 and now we're going to see what happens. .641. Okay, now we've cut 3 inches off. See what we get. All right, 625. Got a ways to go yet. Okay, this is 4 inches of barrel cut off. We're at 20 inches, a really popular size for these guns. Let's see what we're at. We're at 600. We're right at 600. We've cut 5 inches off the barrel now, and we're looking at .602. Wow. Actually got a foot higher with 5 inches off the barrel. Well, here we go. We've cut 6 inches off the barrel now. And apparently I left it out in the sun a little too long because we're back up to 623. Big time. Anomalous readings, to say the least. Okay. We've now cut 7 inches off of this thing. Looking really good. Good numbers so far. About what I expected. I think I'm going to call it right here. Okay, here's what we learned. We learned that a shorter barrel makes for slower CO2. We knew that already, though. So what I have now is a 17-inch barrel on a 2250. Whole gun is 32.5 inches long. It's going to handle really well. I'll put the shroud back on it. I'll have a great little carbine. It'll be a joy to take care of and play with. Hopefully I'll use it more.